Screen down, ego high. You refuse to text them first. It's a silent test to see if they actually care. But as hours pass with nothing, what happens when you realize they straight up forgot about you? 24 hours, 0 notifications. Just you staring at your own reflection in the dark. Your stomach drops, the panic hits. You realize you're the only one doing CPR on a dead connection. But backing off doesn't bring peace. It just spikes your anxiety. Why does starving a weak bond make your brain obsess over it even more? Your mind spins trying to decode this messy dynamic. When you finally stop trying, who actually stays? The blank screen left behind won't just expose their apathy. It will force a hard reset. You thought going quiet was a power move. You stepped back, waiting for them to notice you were gone. But let's be real about what's happening 12 hours later. You don't feel in control. Your phone is face down, and you flip it over every 3 minutes, hoping you missed a buzz. You watch them view your story 40 seconds after you post it, but your chat is totally dead. They have time to scroll, but not 3 seconds to type your name. We all make up little excuses to protect our pride. We say they're just a bad texter or going through a lot right now. But here's the uncomfortable truth. When the whole thing completely shatters the second you stop trying, the pain isn't actually about losing them. It's a massive hit to your ego. Because if matching their energy instantly kills the vibe, why were you trying so hard to begin with? And more importantly, why is your brain about to trick you into double texting anyway? And here's the sick part. Right now, you aren't just battling your pride. You're trapped playing a toxic slot machine. If they ignored you 100% of the time, it would be easy. You'd get bored and dip. But they don't. They ghost you for 3 straight days, and the exact second you decide to cut them off, boom, a 0-effort text at 11 p.m. Whether they know they are doing it or not, that unpredictability totally rewires your brain. You think you're happy they finally reached out, but honestly, you aren't. You're just feeling relief from the anxiety they caused in the first place. You are confusing the end of a panic attack with an actual vibe. You stop seeing them as a real person, and you start seeing them as the jackpot. That's why starving this bond hurts so bad. You aren't holding on because they're your soulmate. You're holding on because your brain convinced you the next pull of the lever will finally pay out. But as the hours keep passing with a dry phone, reality hits. If they never text you back, you are going to have to break this addiction totally alone. You think the absolute worst-case scenario is they just never reach out again, that you slowly fade to black. But the real gut punch doesn't happen in the silence. It happens when you finally stop caring. It's a random Thursday. You finally stopped carrying your phone around like it's glued to your hand. The phantom vibrations are gone. You're genuinely just living your life. And then it happens. They slide in. No apology, no explanation. They just drop a skull emoji on your story. Or they send a random TikTok, acting like the last 96 hours of pure ghosting didn't even happen. 2 weeks ago, your heart would have dropped. You'd screenshot it, send it to the group chat, and spend an hour drafting the perfect, chill reply. And honestly, for a split second, your thumb hovers over the screen. That old, desperate habit kicks in. But then, a heavy feeling washes over you. It isn't butterflies. It's just cringe. The illusion shatters. You suddenly realize they aren't this mysterious mastermind playing 4D chess with your emotions. They are just someone who is perfectly fine giving you absolutely nothing. Out of sight, literally out of mind. This silent test was supposed to expose them, but it actually exposed you, because now you have to face it. Why did you convince yourself their bare minimum was just them being complicated? You thought you were terrified of losing them, but the real heavy part is realizing how much of your own peace you burned down just to keep someone who wasn't even there. You thought you were locked in this deep emotional chess match, but to them, you were just a push notification they swiped away while waiting for DoorDash. We literally do mental gymnastics to protect the fantasy. We tell ourselves they're swamped or they have a hard time opening up, but it isn't about how busy their schedule is. It's about where you fit inside it. When someone leaves you undelivered for 48 hours, they aren't saying they lack 10 seconds of free time. They are silently showing you your rank. And here's the awkward part to admit out loud. A piece of you already knew that. But instead of walking away, you went into overdrive to cover their slack. You quietly dropped your boundaries, trading your actual peace of mind just to keep the streak alive. For what? A skull emoji? A late night, what you doing? You cannot force someone to value you by disappearing. Going silent doesn't fix the connection. It just proves you were carrying the whole thing on your back. You aren't saving anything. You're just forcing something that's already dead. So the weirdest part to accept right now isn't that they don't care. It's realizing you are the one who has to pull the plug. And your brain is going to fight it. It's going to scream at you to send one more text, to fix the vibe, to get the final word. But the only way out of a rigged game is to literally cash out and leave the casino. You don't need to drop a massive emotional paragraph. You don't need to soft block them or repost some super specific TikTok hoping they watch it. Because doing all that, it's still just performing for their attention. It's still you burning your energy just to prove you exist. The ultimate flex isn't giving them the silent treatment to teach them a lesson. It's giving them silence because you genuinely have nothing left to say. And yeah, when they finally slide in next week with a random reel or a low effort, hey, because they always do, your heart will probably jump. Muscle memory kicks in. Your thumb will hover over the screen, tempted to reply just to prove you're totally unbothered. But that's the trap. True peace isn't about ignoring them until they realize your worth. It's looking at that notification and feeling grossed out that you ever settled for something so cheap. You're stressing over someone who views you as a side quest. Stop staring at a dead screen waiting for a text that changes nothing. Let the connection die. Put the phone down. You used to sit around waiting for their name to pop up. Now, let them text a ghost.